Hi, I'm John and I'm the Jigsaw Puzzler. And today we're going to look at this puzzle, which is called State Fair. It's a 1,000 piece puzzle. It's in the Puzzle Collector series and it's created by Crazy Art. The artist who designed the image is Kate Ward Thacker, who is an American designer, and her designs are licensed for all sorts of products like home furnishings and giftware, and for toys like this. Now, in my part of the world, we don't have a state fair. Our equivalent would be the Royal Easter Show, which is the peak agricultural show in our state. Many small towns, including the one that I live in, have a local agricultural show where the images on this puzzle would not look out of place. These shows have different sections to them, and those sections are represented on the front of this puzzle. There are carnival rides, there are show bags, there are competitions for baking and cooking. There's plenty to eat in terms of takeaway food, and often quite sugary junk food. There are competitions for preserves, competitions for arts and crafts and needlework and horticulture. So there's lots and lots of prize ribbons on this puzzle here, and there are livestock competitions. So the core of the show is the livestock competitions. Our local show has sheep, cattle and poultry, and that's represented by this section up here and the grand prize ribbon in the middle. But the Royal Easter Show has many more sections for different kinds of livestock: pigs, alpacas, also guinea pigs, cats, dogs, all sorts of things. So, other competitions. This one here is one of those things where you get a hammer and you whack it and see if how high up, whether you can ring the bell at the top. And shows often have other competitions as well. Could be wood chopping, could be the sheepdog trials. We have dirt bike riding. There are equestrian events, and our local show always ends with a demolition derby. So the main show ring is filled with cars who smash into each other while driving in reverse, and the last car to still be able to move at the end is declared the winner. This puzzle is divided into 12 sections. Each section is bounded by one of these candy striped lines. Each section forms a distinct picture on its own and has its own colours and textures. Some of those, like the red stripe background here, are repeated in other parts of the puzzle. But others, like this blue check here behind the preserves, is unique just to that part of the picture. That actually makes it a bit easier to do, and essentially makes this 12 puzzles in one. This was an op shop purchase, which I got for about $3 or $4. There are no missing pieces. I have completed this puzzle before and it was a sheer pleasure to do. It's a really fun image to do. So follow along as we do the time lapse, and after the time lapse I'll make some comments on the quality of the puzzle and the image and the process that I went through to complete the puzzle. So I'll grab my sorting trays. We're going to open the box, open the bag, and we're going to do the puzzle.
Step right up, get your popcorn, be prepared to be amazed.
Well, so what do I think of Kate Ward Thacker's State Fair puzzle? Well, as I said in the introduction, I found this puzzle a sheer pleasure to do, and I still do the second time round. What do I like about this puzzle? Firstly, I think for a 1,000-piece puzzle, you could speed puzzle this one. There are enough distinct sections that you could really time yourself and have a good time getting this completed. The second thing I like about it is the fact that each of the images on the puzzle has different colours and textures, even though overall, the overall effect is really just of bright colours, bright yellow, bright orange, bright red, blue, purple, green, every colour, and it looks like just a carnival of colour. But when you look at the images, you can see that there are distinct patterns and textures on each of the sections of the puzzle, and that makes it really achievable to do. Thirdly, and you probably saw this in the time lapse, there are a couple of ways of doing this puzzle that I really like. I opted to do the edge first. I often do, but not always. But this is the kind of puzzle that you could start anywhere and do a section. You can go rifle through the pieces in the box and look for all the pieces that go in a particular section and do that without even completing the edge first. So I like it for that reason, that people who prefer to one way or the other to do their puzzles could do this one quite easily. It holds together reasonably well. I did film myself as a bit of a test, picking this up and turning it around. It does not really satisfy the pickup test very well. It is holding together, but only just. So I'm going to put that down very carefully, because when I picked it up and turned it around, several pieces came out of it and they got lost underneath, and I had to redo a little section down here so that it looked complete again. So it only just does the pickup test, but it does hold together reasonably well. This puzzle was imported for Kmart. And Kmart is at the affordable end of the puzzle spectrum. We know that some of the big puzzle brands can be quite pricey to purchase new, which is why secondhand is very, very popular. This puzzle was imported for Kmart, and so therefore it was going to be at the affordable end of the spectrum. It's not for sale currently in Kmart. I've had a quick Google to see if I can find it or anything else from the Puzzle Collector series, and that's been discontinued as far as I can tell. But the puzzles that I saw on Kmart that were 1,000 pieces were in the $10 to $20 range. A puzzle of the same size from one of the big puzzle companies could be up $50, $60, $70, and that would be, par for the course. Because it's at the budget end of the scale, the pieces are quite thin. The cardboard is really thin. And when I first did this, I thought that it was going to be one of those really annoying puzzles where I would not be able to bump the table or any part of the puzzle at all without whole sections coming apart. This one's really borderline with that. I did do sections. I did have to move and shuffle as bits joined onto other bits, and some parts came apart and I had to redo them, but it was only slight. So it's not too bad in terms of its quality. The image quality, though, is excellent. It is a collage style in places, so you'll see this section down the bottom here with the signage from the rides and the carnival games has got a pair of dice and two soft toy dogs on it, and they have been collaged onto the front of it. There's the duck here, there's the merry-go-round horse, and of course the prize ribbons. All of those collage type elements that are semi-photographic are in focus. A previous puzzle that I did, which had wildlife on it, the photographed elements of it were all terribly out of focus, whereas these are all sharp and clear. And I really appreciate that in a puzzle, and in this one particular. Now, I understand with landscapes and things like that, you can't hope to have the whole image in focus. You'll have the foreground blurry, the grass or the garden or whatever it is down the bottom will not be in focus, and the part that is in focus will be the main feature image on the puzzle, and there's sky or mountains or something or other. So I do understand how the photography of that works. But for an image like this, which is more of an art or design piece rather than a photograph, it is nice to see everything in focus. So how did I attack this puzzle? Well, as I said, I did the border first, and then I started to sort. I have 2 puzzle trays, as you probably saw on the time lapse, and I went through one of them entirely and puzzle sorted the pieces from that tray into all the approximate spots on the puzzle where those elements would go. And then I started with the words down the bottom here. Any puzzle with words on it, and particularly this number of words, is not going to be difficult in my opinion, because there's only one way up for them. None of the words here are upside down. Even these tickets, which are on an angle, this side of this popcorn box, they're all the right way up. So you immediately have an orientation for the words. The purple section here is the only purple section on the whole puzzle. The 2 tickets here are pale purple, but this is the only dark purple section, and it's very distinctive and really easy to find all the pieces for that. So I put as many pieces as I could find out of one of the boxes into the middle of the puzzle, approximately where that element goes. That was a mistake. Fully sorting like that wasn't a mistake, but piling them all in the middle of the puzzle was. Because this is the kind of puzzle where I could have gone through the entire 2 boxes and puzzle sorted the lot into approximately the 12 images that are here. And that would have filled up the whole middle of the puzzle just with little mounds of pieces and no room to actually build them. What I should have done is piled up the pieces for this section here, which I wanted to do first, in the middle of the puzzle, and made piles around the puzzle for all the other parts. That's what I should have done. I spent a bit of time moving sections to create some space so that I could put various parts together. This is a really enjoyable puzzle. If you can get your hands on it, I would thoroughly recommend it. I don't have a lot that's negative to say about this one, apart from perhaps the thickness of the cardboard, but that's reflective of the price point of the puzzle in the shop. Other than that, it's a really great image to work as a puzzle, and probably one of the easier 1,000-piece puzzles that you might ever do.